hear anything. And I wait and I wait and I wait. And I was like, I think he's actually sleeping. And then I'm like, oh, he could be dead. We gotta go check. And so I very, very carefully open his door. And of course, it's an old Victorian house, so everything's squeaky and loud. And I open it and I don't hear anything, but I see him laying on his bed. And I'm sitting there like, holding my fucking breath, just staring at his chest from the door, which is so far away. Just hoping I see his chest move, or the blankets move, or something move. And finally I see, he's taking a breath, so he's breathing, he's still alive. Okay, good. And I just shut the door. So I was like, I don't want to wake him up. I don't want to piss him off. He slept, I think, for 4.5 hours, which is insane for him. And so, middle of the night, it was 1 a.m. I text the daughter. I was like, hey, I'm gonna tell you right now, I have a feeling that you may want to be here either in the morning tomorrow or the afternoon, or just be ready for tomorrow. I was like, maybe take off work. Just be around the area tomorrow or Friday. I was like, because I have a gut feeling that this is about to go really quickly, kind of thing. She got back to me early in the morning. However, I woke up that night at 5:36 in the morning, right before I was about to end my shift. I think it was 5:30. To so much noise. I thought somebody was robbing the house. So much noise. I immediately bolt out of bed, throw my scrubs on. I'm running out of the room. And all of the noise, I realize, is coming from his room. I was like, oh shit. So I open his door and I flip the lights on. And I have never seen this happen, and I pray that I will never have to see this happen ever again. I open the door, I flip the lights on, and this man clearly had gone septic. And what happens when you go septic, and it is towards the very end of that person even being alive in general, you start throwing up. But you're not actually throwing up. You're having emesis, vomit, which is the consistency of coffee grounds, and that's it. You're vomiting coffee grounds, very slightly wet coffee grounds. And I open the door, and he has a very pink, shag carpet vibe in his room that his wife picked out. She's dead. She's been dead. And it's pink wallpaper, pinstripe wallpaper throughout the whole house, or his whole bedroom. And it is something out of an actual horror movie. It looks like somebody took buckets, 5-gallon pail buckets of brown paint, and just literally chucked the bucket against the wall. And it was every wall. I had never even realized that this was something that could happen. Like, this was my first ever realization, because this was before nursing school. This was before I was just a little baby caregiver. And I immediately just started crying because I was like, oh no. Like, I don't think I can handle this. And I think that was the only time in my whole healthcare career, I think that was the only time I truly was like, I can't do this. Like, I can't handle this just by myself. I was like, nothing could have prepared me for that. And it's still horrifying to like think back on it. And so I immediately am like rushing through the room trying to find him because he's not in bed, he's not on the floor. And so I'm running through this room that looks like an actual like murder scene, but instead of blood, it's just brown coffee grounds everywhere. And I'm running through the room. I ran towards the closets, the walk-in closets. He's not there. And I'm running towards the other side of the room where the like huge master bathroom is. And I get to the sinks. And it is no longer a pink sink. It is just, it's covered. The whole thing is covered. You can't see pink anymore. And I look at the mirror, and the mirror is covered. And I was like, I have to clean this. Like, my first coherent thought was, I cannot have the family come here and see this. Because it was so traumatizing for me. And I do this job every day. I was like, I can't let them see this. I cannot. I'm gonna have to clean this up before I call them. And so I'm immediately like, I'm rushing around trying to find him. And I find him, he's in the shower, laying on the floor. And it's everywhere. Like, I mean, it looks like a cartoon murder scene. It is everywhere. It's like, how is this possible? So I throw on, I think I had a t-shirt with me. I don't even remember. Maybe it was one of his t-shirts. I don't even remember. I throw something on myself so I don't get emesis all over me, because I only had that pair of scrubs and I was not prepared for walking into this. And so I make sure like he's okay. I do all of my things to make sure he's okay. Thank God muscle memory and training kicks in and shit like this, because my brain did not work in that moment. And it didn't work for like the rest of the week. Like, it just, this case fucked me up so much for a hot minute. And it's still so awful to think about. I somehow got him cleaned up. He was still alive. I don't know how. And I put him to bed. And I changed the sheets. Got him in clean clothes. Put him in bed, sitting up, so he doesn't choke on the coffee grounds. And I get a bucket from I don't even know where. And I put it next to him. And I go get him water, knowing he will not drink it, but just in case. Put it next to him. And I start cleaning. And I'm like, I'm trying as frantically as I can to clean this room, all knowing that, like, I have to call the family, like, as soon as physically possible, because, like, if he dies before they get here, it's not going to be good. But also, they cannot see this room in this state right now. Like, that will be more scarring than their dad dying. So I'm, like, scrubbing everything. I'm using every paper towel in the house. I'm literally just filling garbage bags. So many garbage bags. Like, it was awful. This was awful. And finally I get to a point halfway through cleaning where I was like, okay, I'm going to call them. By the time they get here, I'm going to be done cleaning. So I call the daughter, and she picks up immediately. Like, it was like she knew. And she picks up, and she was like, do I need to come over there? Like, she didn't even let me. It was the first words. And I take a deep breath, and I was like, yes, you need to start calling everyone. I was like, everyone needs to get over here. I was like, I would call an ambulance. However, let them know it is not a rushed ambulance. It is more so going to be for a coroner assessment, basically, to, like, have them here to transport the body to confirm that he's dead, kind of thing, So she starts crying, and I was like, take a deep breath. I was like, I know this is, and I was like, this is not going to be easy. I'm going to warn you right now. I was like, I know you guys kind of knew it wasn't going to be. I was like, but without going into detail, I was like, be prepared for when you walk into this room. And I was like, I have cleaned it as best I can. However, it is a bright pink shag carpet and bright pink walls, and I can only do so much for what happened. And I was like, so just, like, it's going to be a shock when you walk into this room. And so they show up as I'm taking all the trash bags out to the trash. And everybody's sobbing. And I don't remember the rest of the week. Like, I physically cannot tell you what happened the rest of that week. I have no memory at all. And that's crazy to me, because like I don't remember a single thing that happened for the rest of that week, or I think like the week after. Like, I don't remember any of it. And that case was so fucking awful. And he died because he went septic. Not because... Well, I mean, he went septic most likely because, he had 15 million different cancers. But that was his cause of death. Death was it was sepsis. Sepsis killed him. And if I ever have to die like that, somebody is shooting me in the head. Because I can't even imagine what he mentally was thinking while all of that was happening to his body. Because I only saw the aftermath. I didn't experience it. And I can't even imagine what he was going through in that moment. Because it's a you're dead moment. Like, that is an immediate, while that's happening, there's nothing else going through your head but you're dead. And that's awful. I would rather be shot. 100%. I'd rather somebody decapitate me, in fact, than have that happen. That was the most, like, traumatizing thing that I've had to deal with in healthcare, was that night. And I don't think I actually took another case for, like, a few weeks after that. Because that shit, like, fucked me up. I'm pretty sure I failed my psychology class that year. Yeah. It was the same semester, so I'm gonna blame failing my psychology class on the fact that that fucked me up so much. Because I had no friends, so I literally had no one. I didn't tell anybody about it. Like, I didn't talk to anybody about that shit. Like nobody. I just internalized all of it and kept going, being like, oh yes, this is the way to hype work. I was like, oh yes, this is how you handle it. Hi, baby. Hi, sweet baby. Oh, I'm sorry. I just clocked you in the head. Hi, sweet boy. So that's super fun. That's probably the most traumatizing thing that has happened to me in healthcare. Other than, like, no. That is the most traumatizing thing that ever happened to me. I'm pretty sure I was... Oh, gosh. So, 16, 17, 18... I was almost 19? Almost. Because I think it was, like, March... Yeah, it was like March of my spring semester there. And I just stopped caring about everything. Like, I literally I failed my fucking psychology class, for goodness sake. I didn't fail the rest of my classes, but that's only because they were so fucking easy that, like, it was impossible to fail them, kind of thing. But then my psychology class, was like an actual class. And I just stopped doing anything. Like, I wouldn't study. I would just wing tests and not even check my score. Like, I could not cope. Yeah, I didn't realize how much that case fucked me up until right now, honestly. Because I didn't talk to anybody about it. I'm pretty sure on this planet right now, there is a solid 3 people that have heard that story. Pretty sure. I don't think I realized how much that, I definitely didn't realize, within that year how much it fucked me up. But, I think in general, I didn't realize how much that fucked me up till right now. That's super cool. Yeah. And then that agency tried to basically, fire me without firing me so that I don't know. It was super shady. They started doing shady shit. And then they started to tell me that the way they were, doing their payroll and stuff was changing, and so that I wouldn't have to claim taxes on it. And that's when I was like, oh, okay, I'm not going to work for you anymore, because that's illegal. Whatever you're doing, it's illegal. I don't know what it is you're doing. Whatever it is, not legal. So then I just stopped working for them because they were doing some shady shit. Yeah. That fucked me up pretty good. I didn't realize that till right now. Hi, Pork. Oh, you sweet baby. Pork, if you ever die, I'm gonna kill myself. I'm just kidding. He's so cute though. How can I not live without my chicken? He's my little chicken. Come here. It's just chicken. Oh, it's just a sweet baby. Oh, it's a sweet chicken. I love him so much. Oh. Yeah, I don't think people realize, like, some of the shit that healthcare workers deal with. Because it's pretty fucked up. Like, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
To have to deal with at not even 19 years old. Like, I was almost 19, but I was still 18 years old. I had no idea what I wanted to do in life. I had no friends. My family was my family. And I was working 47 hours a week, taking 18 credit classes, living by myself. And then I dealt with that. And then I didn't talk about it. That's super cool.
Yeah, it's something.
Don't worry, if you ever go septic, I will shoot you. I'll do it for you. As long as you do it for me, I'll do it for you.
How is that gonna work?
Well, I mean, we can't go septic at the same time.
I mean,
That's like
if we're lucky.
I'm pretty sure that would be unlucky.
No,
Because then how are we gonna just? Are we?
if we are gonna kill each other, then you know.
Oh, perfect. Okay, we'll do it at the same time, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, guys, I see what you're saying. Okay. I have so many healthcare stories that I've never talked about. Because, like, now they're all just, like, flooding to my brain. Like, some good ones.
I feel like
There's lots of...
It's almost 12 p.m.
That was my bedtime story.
Okay.
I was gonna go to bed. And I had to do all of that stone cold sober. I didn't discover drugs until I was 23. 23? Yeah. 23, 24? I didn't discover drugs until I was like 23 or 24. I did all that shit stone cold sober. It was before I ever started smoking tobacco of any kind, ever started smoking weed of any kind. Stone cold sober. Crazy. I could write a book with the shit that has happened. It would be a really fucked up book, but like, I could write a book. I've only, after that happened, huh? That's fucked up. That was fucked up. That was fucked up. You can illustrate it.
Oh, okay.
I could if I had really good drawing ability, like to just like freehand it. The memory of me walking into that room is so vividly imprinted into my brain. I could draw it fiber by fiber of that carpet for you, like in such great detail. I could tell you exactly how everything was laid out. I just can't draw. So, you're lucky. Okay, so a happy memory? Alright, let me think. Okay, a happy memory. It's harder. It's it's harder to find these because they don't stick in your brain because they don't traumatize you, you know? Like, okay, so this was a few years after that guy died. So I was an actual LPN at this point. I was working in the rehab section of the Reading, PA hospital, which was like the hospital I did my like training through, so I already knew it really well. It was a pretty nice hospital. So I was on their rehab unit, and there was this lady that came in. We had seen her a couple times, but I never had her as a patient. But she was really picky. Like, that was the second everyone heard she was coming back, everybody was like, she's back. And like, I had never interacted with her before, so I had no like reaction to her being there, you know? Because like, if I don't know who you are and you haven't been a patient of mine, I'm gonna listen to what people say, but I'm gonna take it with a grain of salt, because sometimes, especially nurses on second shift, sometimes they're just overly dramatic about people for no fucking reason, and like, I never understood that. So I can't remember what this lady was for. Maybe it was her hip. I don't know. She was at rehab for something after a surgery, which was basically like every single person we had in the rehab center. So she came in, I did her admission, got all her paperwork, I did all of the things, and she was very, very, I wouldn't say picky, but she was extremely, like, she knew how everything needed to be laid out. Like, she would tell you, not in a very mean tone or anything crazy, but she would tell you to put stuff back if you moved it, kind of lady. Like, she was very particular, is the word I'm looking for. Very particular. Which, like, I have no problem with. I will never have a qualm with a patient because they're particular about how their room is laid out. Because these people are with us for a long ass time sometimes. So, like, that's their home until they're better enough to go home. And so, like, if you want it laid out very meticulously, absolutely, go right ahead. I will try my best, and I mean my very best, to remember all of it. But I make it very clear to them that, like, hey, if you ever, like, see me do something or move something, just let me know if you're not okay with it. Because, like, I want them to be comfortable. Like, this is their home. I'm walking into that room as if it's their house. And a lot of the nurses did not look at it that way, and I think that's where their issue with her was. So, the problem with her, according to everyone, was she hated being in the rehab. First of all, I don't see how that's a problem. I would also hate it. What the fuck? So, she constantly, and I mean constantly, would be asking to go outside. And this was in May, June, so it's really nice weather outside. It's beautiful spring weather. And the windows in the patient's room do not open for a reason. And she very literally, every single time I would go in there, would ask to go outside. And there was a moment in the night where I had time. I had a solid 2 hours of nothing going on. All of my patients were good. Everything was taken care of. I had nothing for 2 hours, which rarely happens. I don't remember it ever happening other than this. And so I go into her room and I was like, hey. It's I know we're usually really, really busy. I was like, but I have some time right now. I was like, not a lot. Because, I don't want to tell her I have 2 hours and then something happened with my patient and then suddenly I don't have 2 hours, I was like, but I have time right now. I was like, do you want to go outside into the courtyard and sit out in the sunshine? And when I tell you, this lady immediately started bawling her eyes out, because this was her third or fourth time with us, and not a single person had offered to take her outside. She asked every single time somebody walked into that room, and nobody ever offered it to her. She started sobbing, and I walked over and I was like, listen, I have to get approval from 3 people to do this. I was like, I'm gonna go do that. You start getting ready. Put your jacket on, put your cardigan on. You have to have something warm around you. Get a blanket off your bed, put it on your lap. I was like, I'm gonna go talk to some people. I was like, and I'm going to try my darndest so we can get you outside. Because it shouldn't be an issue to take her for a walk. That's the thing. It should never be an issue. If I have time, I have time. So I go down to my nurse manager's office. I was like, hey, first of all, this lady was a bitch. Everybody hated her. So I knocked on her door. I was like, hey, I have some random free time right now, which never happens. And I was like, and patient whoever is asking to go for a walk, she has been since the day she got here. And I was like, and I know this is the thing that she does, is she just wants to go outside. I was like, but I think it would be really good for her, and I have the time, and I would like to do it. And she was like, absolutely not. I was like, let's try this again. I was like, hi, I would like to take my patient who is capable of going outside with me outside with me. And I was like, she's getting ready right now. And she goes, why would you tell her you could do it? I was like, I never did. I was like, I told her I might be able to. And that might was a heavy might, because I should be able to take a fucking patient outside to the courtroom, or to the courtyard, because that's why we have a fucking courtyard. You pay all of this money for the fancy ass courtyard, and nobody goes in it, and she just wants to go sit in some sun. I will fight you. I will fist fight you for her to be able to go outside. And so I was like, I never told her that I could. I was like, I told her I might be able to, and that she should start getting ready, because I don't usually have free time. And so we're going to do this as quick as possible. and she was not having it. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to go ask somebody else. And I shut her door and I walked away. Everybody hated her. She just was so mean. Like, she just was mean and didn't want to do her job. And that was all that she did. And so I went above her head and I called the charge nurse for the night, which was the one in charge of the whole building. Called her. She was super sweet. I was like, hey, listen, I have a patient who has been with us for like 4 different visits, all a month long each visit. Apparently, the thing that she does is she wants to go outside, and she asks everyone every single time they step into her room, she wants to go outside. I was like, I think she's getting just stir crazy of being in this hospital so much. I was like, I have time right now. Like, I know that sounds weird, because it sounds weird even saying it. I was like, but I have the time. I want to take her outside. So-and-so said absolutely not, but then didn't give me a single reason as to why I couldn't take her outside. So I'm asking you. And she goes, well, I don't really see why not. She's like, are you comfortable doing that? And I was like, absolutely I am. Please let me do this. Like, I'm begging you, please. And so she was like, okay, yeah, sure, go ahead. I was like, oh, sick. So I go back to the lady and I open the door. This lady had her socks, shoes, cardigan, blanket, and she had her drink in her lap. She was ready to fucking go. And I was like, amazing. I was like, you did exactly what I needed you to do. And I was like, and guess what? I did exactly what you needed me to do. I was like, we're going outside. And she just starts crying again. And I was like, okay, wait a minute. I was like, we can't go through the hallways crying. I was like, I know you're so excited. I'm also so excited. But if you go through the hallway crying, people are going to think that like something's going on. I was like, so we just got to be really excited that we're going outside without crying as best we can. And so we go down the hallway and I passed that manager lady's office and her door was open and she was sitting in there. And I go down the hall, I pass her office. She goes, hey, where are you going? I was like, outside. And I just start walking down the hall. And this lady was so happy. We sat outside for like 30 minutes, just enjoying the sunshine. Mind you, this was the first time I had stepped outside of the hospital. Like the whole time I worked there during a shift, I had never stepped outside. Like, because we don't get to. We don't have the time. And I had the time, which was crazy. And so her and I are just out there. We're talking about birds. We're talking about where she used to live. She had a garden. Like, we're just talking about everything. And I told her when we first got out there, I was like, okay, I have to set a timer on my phone for 25 minutes. And I was like, and we're going to have the best 25 minutes of our whole lives out here. And we did. We had a great time. Nobody paged me. None of my patients needed anything while I was gone. The other LPNs took care of their call lights. Like, everything just happened so perfectly. And we get back inside. And I get her into her room. And we're taking everything off her, like shoes, blanket. And she looks at me and she goes, you were the first person to actually give a shit that I wanted to go outside. And then I started crying. Because it's such a small request. In the big scheme of things, wanting to just step outside and see some sunshine and look at the clouds, she hadn't been given that opportunity. Which, like, that's something I take for granted every single day I step outside my house, because it's just something I can do. Like, I could get up right now and go step outside my house. Like, and she was denied that for months because nobody either had the time or could find the time, or nobody cared enough, or it just didn't happen. And she was like, you're the first person that actually like gave a shit and tried. She's like, I know, she's like, I know it probably sounded like a broken record because she would ask every single person that would step in there. Like, every time I would walk into her room, she would ask. And she's like, you're the first person that actually tried to help me, like, go outside. Like, you actually listened to the request I had. And I was like, oh, of course. Like, that is literally why I'm here. I'm here to make sure that you're not only just physically okay and doing well, but like you're mentally okay and doing well. Like, that's half the battle. And if you doing well mentally means I get to take you outside for 20 minutes, I'm gonna try my damn hardest to do that. Like, we just sat there crying together. And then I'm pretty sure she called her daughter and like told her daughter that she finally got to go outside. And like, they just talked about it for the rest of her stay. And then later, like when she was about to be discharged, her daughter came in. I can't remember if I was working or not. I don't think I was, because I think somebody told me that like the daughter was asking about me and like wondering if I was there so she could talk to me. And the daughter, when the mom got discharged, the daughter ended up like writing a note to the head lady who actually gave me the go-ahead for the outside walk. And at that hospital, we had this thing called the Angel Award. So the only way to get an Angel Award is if you like have a patient that specifically says, hey, I am nominating my caregiver or whoever as like towards an Angel Award. And then they have to fill out like the whole thing, like basically like a paperwork packet. They fill it out and then they submit that to my boss, and then I get like a recognition. And then it comes with like a gift card or something of some kind. And I didn't even know what an Angel Award was. Like, this was, I think, 5 or 6 months into working there, and they didn't tell us that these things were a thing. Like, I didn't know until I was receiving it from my boss, from the lady. And she was talking about like how she called the daughter and the mom on like a conference call when she got the paperwork, and like was just talking to them about everything. And she basically like, she gave me the award, she gave me the prize, and she was like, she's like, based off of just the short conversation I had with them and reading through what they wrote about you in the packet, she was like, this is like, you are exactly the type of person that should be working in healthcare and like taking care of people. She's like, because you are just wired to do this job. Like, you're like what we want the standard of people to be. And I immediately just started sobbing because I was like, I have worked so hard, literally since 14 years old in this field because I love it. And that was just, it was so nice to like finally hear somebody like say that I'm doing a good job. Like that was such a cool moment. There's your happy story.
Thanks.
It was great. All because I took the lady out for a fucking walk. Once. Like, it's crazy to me when I think back, like, on that, because it I think it made more of an impact on me than it did on her, to be honest with you. Because, like, it was such a small thing, and I wholeheartedly believe her when she said that nobody even tried to make it happen before. Like, knowing the other nurses I worked alongside, I wholeheartedly believe that. Because, like, they didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
And it's so frustrating, but, like, it's something so small that you don't even think about until you cannot do it. Until you fully have to depend on random strangers to be able to go outside. And like that, it's so crazy to me. And then I never saw her ever again. She's probably dead by now, but maybe not. She's probably like in her late 80s, early 90s if she's still alive. Because she was like, I think she was like 82, 83, something like that. She was older. She was great though. Huh?
Could still be young.
She could be. She seemed stubborn enough.
Maybe looking at it.
There is one patient, and then I have to go to bed. This is going to be really quick, and I'm not going to rant. There was one patient from that rehab. Her name was Marsha. If I would be in anybody's will, it's going to be Marsha's. Because this lady she also came to the rehab. And her and I were immediate best friends. Like, I mean, immediate best friends. When she was my patient was when I was first starting nursing school. And she was a registered nurse and retired. And so every time I would, like, she was there for 4 months. She was in our rehab for 4 months. So I had her all the time. And I saw her all the time. Her and I were best friends. She was so fucking cool. This lady was great. She would help me with my nursing questions. Like, she was awesome. After she got discharged and went home, she insisted that I give her my phone number. And she goes, it's sheerly for the purpose of if you have any more questions. And I was like, okay, Marsha, sure. But like anybody else, no. But for you, Marsha, I'll give you my phone number. And her and she would take me out to breakfast or like lunch for the next 3 years, just randomly. She'd randomly call me and she'd be like, hey, you want to go out to breakfast on Sunday? And I was like, hi, Marsha. It's been 2.5 months since I've last seen you. Absolutely, I want to go get breakfast. And then she would refuse to even let me, like, touch my wallet. She would never let me pay. She would literally try and beat me with her cane in the restaurant if I tried to put my card down. Like, she would pick her cane up and, like, pretend to swing it at me, but like close enough that like she definitely would have hit me if I tried to put my card down. She was so funny, and I think about her all the time. She was so great. I don't know what she's doing now. The last time I heard from her was like over 2 years ago or over a year ago, something like that. She had divorced her husband because he cheated on her with multiple young women. Don't know what that means, but I did not question any further. Um, yeah, she she was great. She hate all of her children. She hates all of them because they're all pieces of shit. Um, a bunch of them are like drug addicts and just in and out of jail, and she's like, they are their father's kids. Like they don't take after me at all. I was like, no, you're pretty stubborn and a little crazy, so like they might take after you a little bit, but you know. Um, she's great. So if I'm in anybody's will, it's definitely gonna be hers. Cause she's just awesome. I should call her. I would every now and then. I mean, I think I texted her not this past Thanksgiving, but the one before that. I sent her Happy Thanksgiving and then Happy Christmas, New Year's, and I didn't hear back. And then, hi Pork. I think that was the last time that, like, I heard anything from her. I should text her right now. What time is it? 12 in the morning. She's awake. I bet you $1 million. Marsha Stout from rehab is what she is in my phone as. Hold on, I'm texting her. Pork, what the fuck are you doing? What's happening? Why are you attacking my feet? They did nothing to me. Okay?
I don't know what's going on today. Like, I've been live for 2 hours, and tonight I like actually made improvements to my stream. Like, I have some royalty-free music playing, and I have a microphone, and I haven't seen anyone even like enter. Like, no increase in viewership at all. It's so strange. Whereas like the other times, like I would at least get fluctuations.
Beautiful. Not today.
That's strange. Okay, let me hop on and watch your stream. I will watch you, baby. I like to be a peeping Tom, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Be all up in there, be watching your family eating dinner. Hi. Hi, Pork. What are you doing? Pork.
That's all I can think of. Is like maybe that's why. Like, because I only have one viewer instead of two viewers that I usually have.
That's weird.
People are more likely to click on something.
Yeah, if somebody's watching it. Yeah. Oh, maybe.
Did you join? Oh, there you go.
Oh, it's working.
Can you hear me talk? Like, in the stream?
No.
I guess that might be hard. You can't? Well, it's gonna be delayed. It's not like right away.
Oh, yeah, I can hear myself too.
Yeah, I know. I told you, but they could probably hear you. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why Maya's stuck. Very strange. Come on, Maya.
Still can't believe what Tyrene did to Lilith. When we catch up to that bitch, there's gonna be a reckoning.
Hmm.
Time for a fight.
I've literally never used this action skill. Like, I only ever just use phase grasp, which is the one I picked from. But like, she has 3 other action skills, and I'll never use them.
That's weird. No, sorry, I'm talking about the audio. I can't hear you. I can only hear me.
Yeah, I don't know how to like if I talk louder, does it help? Like I don't want to blow your ears out like in
Hold on.
Discord, but you know.
Hold on. Oh, that's super weird. Yeah, no, like my voice is super loud. And yours is like a whisper. It's so strange.
Yeah, I can't like I can't turn mine up anymore that I'm aware of. I can turn the like audio for my desktop down. Like that would turn down like your voice
Yeah.
and like the game and the background music and stuff like that. Like it would turn down everything. But I can't turn mine up anymore. So but I also don't want them like so low that like you have to turn up your volume to like the max just to be able to hear me.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what to do. Maybe it's something that I can Google later and try and figure out. But
Google.
it's not working.
I'll just talk really quiet. I'll just whisper.
Okay, I'll be over here screaming.
Wanna try?
Oh, it's funny.
Yeah, I mean, you can hear me, it's just like quiet.
Yeah. I gotta go to bed. It's so late.
Making headlines!
Greetings, Old Hunter. I am Sir Hammerlock. I require you to hunt and kill things for me. See the Borderlands are rare. I will pay you $2 for their trophies. Legends, luxury, to become rich in its sacred east.
What the fuck is that thing? That thing. A big toothy thing. Level 12.
This is the first time I've ever gotten this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's in Borderlands 2 as well. I've never done it there.
Huh.
I don't know if it's as good in this game. It's really good in Borderlands 2.
Aren't you lucky? Huh.
So if you stand the right distance away, then you'll see it, I'll show you. But then you can get all 3 pellets on their head. Because if you're too close, it's still only 1 pellet. And if you're too far, then the target is too small. So you hit that.
Shooter. Who's that? Can you shoot Ava?
No,
Oh, well, that's upsetting.
I know. But it's fine.
Oh, no. Beautiful work.
Well, when you hear me talk, I'm talking about something that is like probably 10 seconds away from something you've seen.
Yes. Because I'm at the point where Ava's standing by that weird looking door.
Yeah. Well, like
You
when
just
she was by the
blew with
door,
trash.
there was like this thing just like floating behind her,
Mm.
but it's gone now.
Stronger together.
Did you just rob a grave?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Awesome. I definitely support that. Bitch is dead anyway.
Gotta make ends meet somehow.
Yeah, exactly. And they already found their end, so.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Ow.
The graveyard.
I can go to bed.
No, I'm assuming.
It's so late.
I know. Almost like I've been telling you to go to bed.
Listen, nobody asked you. I'm a strong, independent woman. I can go to bed whenever I want. And that's right now. I'm gonna go to bed. Good night.
Love you.
Love you too.
Talk to you some
Oh, yeah. I keep this stream on, but I'm gonna leave Discord.
day. Okay.
I used to have one just like that.
Wasn't there more of you a second ago? Let's make this quick, yeah?
Is this thing on? Test, test. Hey, Vault Hunter, have we got an opportunity for you? You don't want to miss it!
Hey, wanna lift weights with me?
Buy yourself a mod for the Mercury class. Thanks. Now I can keep these handy in case I run out of anesthetic.
I hope you warmed up. Weak.
That's weird.
Goodbye to your package. No, I'm done.
Ready for round two? I'm projecting.
You got enemies and I got them. You'll live there.
Holy shit, I'm on your level. God damn.
Without it, you're just a schmuck with a paperweight. Everyone has their price. You know where
This
to
is
find
gonna be
me.
good.
I hope you're warmed up.
I hate that fucking cat. Why does that do something? It's so silly. is definitely the toughest guy in the game.